Every family has their own set of Christmas traditions, and the royal family is no exception to this rule. This year, things are getting shaken up as new family member Meghan Markle and her mother are going to be spending Christmas with the royals. So, just what is so unique about the holiday traditions of this famous family? We'll let you in on the shocking reason they need to have a scale on hand and what makes a suitable Christmas present for an actual queen. You might just enjoy your family's humble traditions a little more after this video. Weighing. In general, a lot of the rules followed by the royal family are kind of common sense. They are meant to uphold tradition and present the family as dignified and poised at all times. So it may surprise you to learn that many of their Christmas traditions are downright strange. And this one definitely has us raising our eyebrows. Like pretty much all other families, the royal family uses the holidays as an excuse to overindulge in some decadent food. You might have left Christmas dinner with your family thinking you had gained weight, but that's nothing compared to what the members of the royal family do. Prior to tucking in their meal, members of the royal families actually step on a scale and weigh themselves. They use a special antique scale, and everyone is expected to take part in this tradition. So yes, this most likely means Meghan Markle and Doria Ragland will be stepping on the scale this year. This dates back to the reign of King Edward VII in the early 1900s. It started out of concern that people weren't being fed enough and wanting to make sure everyone was in good health. Apparently, it's all done in good fun, but we can't imagine this not feeling pretty awkward. Timing. In the United States, many of us get together with our families on Christmas Eve, but no presents are opened until Christmas morning. After all, Santa Claus needs to have some time to get them under the tree. But in the royal family, all of the excitement of the gift exchange happens on Christmas Eve and not on Christmas Day. And yes, this includes all of the children as well. There are a lot of benefits to being a member of the royal family, and apparently getting to open all your Christmas presents a day early is one of them. This tradition may seem unusual in many parts of the world, but in Germany, it's surprisingly common for people to open presents on Christmas Eve. Usually, after afternoon tea, presents are exchanged and opened. Because the royal family is of German descent, this is just one of the many traditions carried over and incorporated with new ones. And of course, this tradition also has some practical benefits for the busy royal family. They have tons of Christmas Day traditions as well, so it makes sense to free up time by getting the unwrapping out of the way. Employee presents. Being employed by the royal family is no easy task, but there are some benefits to this form of employment. Each year, you get to receive a Christmas present from Queen Elizabeth herself, and it's not just put in a stocking. The Queen and her husband, Prince Philip, make it a point to personally hand out Christmas gifts to everyone who works for them. Considering how busy the Queen is, especially around the holidays, it's sweet that she takes the time to bring a little holiday cheer to her staff. And that's no easy task, considering that the Queen employs about 550 people. So what can employees look forward to receiving from the Queen? It's the same thing every year. And apparently the staff really looks forward to it. Each person receives a Christmas pudding. These puddings are purchased from Harrods or Fortnum & Mason, two locations which have warrants as royal grocers. If you have worked for the Queen for a considerable amount of time, then you might get something extra. Seasoned employees also receive a small gift, such as a book from the Queen. It's a nice way for the Queen and Prince Philip to spread some holiday cheer. Food. Sometimes the Queen has been known to break from tradition from time to time. This includes inviting Meghan Markle's mother to their Christmas celebration. But in some ways, the royal family adheres strictly to tradition. And when it comes to food, this is the case more often than not. Queen Elizabeth is known for being very particular about her food preferences, and her family knows what will be on the menu each year. Turkey is the protein of choice, and they are not known for switching it up for ham instead. They'll have it with various stuffings, roast potatoes, parsnips, and Brussels sprouts. We're getting hungry just thinking about it. For dessert, of course, there's an elaborate Christmas pudding. And there's also another traditional dessert. While people may joke about Christmas fruitcakes, they're a big deal in the royal family. At one time, having a fruitcake was a way to display how wealthy you were, because most of the ingredients were difficult to maintain and store. Fruit, alcohol, and spices were all highly valued commodities, and making a decadent cake out of them was the height of indulgence. This tradition in the royal family continues to this day, and fruitcake is also served at weddings and holidays. Gifts. So now that we know what the employees of the royal family get for Christmas and when presents are unwrapped, let's find out what the members of the royal family get each other. It can be hard to pick out the perfect present. And what do you buy the people who have everything? You might find it hard to picture, but the members of the royal family get each other gag gifts for Christmas. In fact, the stranger the present, the more everyone loves it. Long before he met Meghan Markle, Prince Harry once received a Grow a Girlfriend kit from his sister-in-law, Kate Middleton. And as you might expect, Prince Harry is a pro at giving hilarious gifts. And the Queen was reportedly thrilled when he gave her a novelty shower cap one year. Even though she's a relatively new addition to the royal family, doesn't mean Meghan Markle isn't getting in on the fun already. On her first Christmas with the royal family, she got the Queen one of those singing hamster dolls. Allegedly, Queen Elizabeth was thrilled with her gift. Maybe that's why she was willing to break tradition and allow Doria Raglan to attend the royal Christmas celebration. And apparently, the Queen's corgis love the little toy hamster too. Seating. After they're done laughing over their novelty Christmas gifts, the royal family gets to enjoy tons of delicious food during their Christmas celebration. But of course, even the seating chart has to be strictly adhered to. The Queen uses a complex algorithm to decide where everyone will sit at the table. In general, she tries to alternate between male and female guests, and your specific seat is based on your place within the family. Not only does the throne have a line of succession, but so do the seats around the formal dining table. This is true of all royal engagements, and Christmas is no exception. You might find yourself wondering where this puts the littlest members of the royal family. While the adults of the royal family love their children dearly, they get to enjoy some adult conversation during formal dinners. The children get to eat separately and are attended to by their respective nannies. There isn't a strict age cutoff for the children's table, but in order to sit with the adults, you have to learn how to talk properly. Once royal children are capable of polite dinner conversation, they're welcome to join the adults for a meal. Decorations. Putting up decorations is a tricky game for all of us. You don't want to get your tree too far in advance, so it looks its best on Christmas Day, but you want to enjoy it as much as possible. And then, once the holiday is over, how long can you wait before you take it down? Some people raise their eyebrows at those who keep their decorations up after New Year's, but you might be surprised to know that the Queen is one of them. Once those lavish holiday decorations go up, they ain't coming down till February. The royal family enjoys their Christmas celebration at Sandringham House in Norfolk, England. While most family members go home after the holidays, the Queen and the decorations stay until February 6th. This is the anniversary of the passing of the Queen's father, King George VI. He and the Queen were very close, and this Christmas tradition is a sweet and subtle way to honor his memory. And there's an additional way she celebrates her father's time on Earth via Christmas decorations. She gives Christmas trees to all of the churches and schools in Sandringham each and every holiday season. Guests. The royal family enjoys entertaining guests during formal occasions, but normally, Christmas is for family only. For ages, you had to be either a blood relation or married to one in order to get an invitation for the royal Christmas celebration. But this is among the many rules which Meghan Markle broke when she was engaged to Prince Harry. Or rather, the Queen allowed this tradition to change in order to accommodate her. It might not sound like a big deal to extend a celebration invitation, but in the royal family, this was pretty groundbreaking. Although she's traditional in many ways, Queen Elizabeth has been shown to be progressive at times. She was apparently willing to relax this rule and welcome Meghan into the family before it became official. And sources claim that she's even extended an invitation to Doria Raglan, Meghan Markle's mother. This is even more extreme and unprecedented, as no one else's in-laws have ever received such a royal invitation. Unlike her sister-in-law, Kate Middleton, Meghan doesn't have a lot of family nearby. She's estranged from many of her relatives, making her royal family members all the more important. We're glad the royal family is becoming more inclusive and sharing the holiday spirit. Crackers. Christmas crackers are a huge deal for many families, and we aren't talking about the kind you eat. These fun holiday treats are simple cardboard tubes wrapped in paper and containing prizes. Tons of people in many different countries enjoy cracking them open during the Christmas season, and the royal family is no exception. As you may have expected, they generally go for the top-of-the-line ones, which contain items like silver key rings, cufflinks, or luggage tags. But this doesn't mean that they don't also enjoy the same things we do. Of course, how could the royal family be expected to enjoy their Christmas celebration without their paper crowns? Despite having all manner of crackers crackers filled with fancy things. The Queen reportedly loves finding a penny whistle in her cracker. She also likes reading the jokes inside of them, and used to make up her own jokes when she was a kid. Prince Harry also takes great delight in this tradition, but he likes to tip the odds in his favor. He picks up all the Christmas crackers at the table and makes sure he gets the one which feels the heaviest. Broadcast. The Queen has a lot of work to do during the year, and she's kept busy through the holidays as well. People look forward to hearing her annual Christmas broadcast, which she delivers on Christmas Day. This has been a long-standing tradition in the royal family, way back since the rule of King George V during 1932. Each year, the speech is different and touches on current issues and concerns about things that are going on in the world. The Queen also likes to talk about her family, general reflections on the year, and the importance of Christmas. At first, King George V didn't like the idea of a Christmas broadcast at all. The original speech was transmitted via radio, and George believed it was a medium purely for entertainment. Queen Elizabeth gave her very first Christmas message in 1952, and the broadcast was televised for the first time a few years later in 1957. For this important event, the Queen doesn't employ any speechwriters or assistants. She speaks from the heart and writes the speech herself. Not only is this speech an important tradition for the royal family, but for many other non-royal families as well, who like to tune in for the broadcast. So now that you've learned what the royal family likes to do during the holiday season, we want to hear what your favorite holiday traditions are. And then click on the subscribe button for more videos from us here at The Taco. Thanks for watching.